Hello everyone and welcome to the PharmaSID. From today onwards, we are going to start a new subject of human anatomy and physiology. So, we are going to see which are the different topics we are going to cover in this video lecture series. So, first one is scope of anatomy and physiology. So, in that we are going to discuss what is the scope of anatomy and physiology and some definition of various terms. Next chapter is structure of cell. In that we are going to see what is the structure of the cell and its components and their functions. Next chapter is tissue of human body. In that we are going to see which are the different kind of tissues in our body and their types like epithelial, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue, and see their subtypes and also their characteristics. Next chapter is osseous system. Osseous, in that we are going to see which are the structure and functions of our bones, their skeleton, their classification, their types, and which are the different movements of our joints and which are the different disorders regarding the joints. Our next chapter is Haemopoietic System. The name itself gives significance that this chapter is concerned with the blood. We are going to see its composition and functions of a blood, which are the different processes of hemopoiesis. In that we are going to see how the blood is generated. Next, characteristics and functions of RBCs, WBCs and platelets. Different mechanisms of blood clotting, which is the importance of blood groups. Why we have to separate the blood groups like A, B, AB and O. Our next chapter is lymphatic system. In that we are going to see lymph and lymphatic system, its composition, functions and its formation, how the lymph is formed. The structure and function of spleen and lymph node, where the lymph is generated. Next we are going to see cardiovascular system. It is concerned with our heart and circulation of blood. In that we are going to see anatomy and physiology of heart, blood vessels and its circulation in the pulmonary, coronary and systemic circulation. Next, cardiac cycle and heart sounds, basics of ECG, that is electrocardiogram. Blood pressure and its regulation. Next we are going to see respiratory system. In that we are going to see anatomy of respiratory organs and their functions, regulation and mechanism of respiration, how the respiratory movements are monetized. Next, respiratory volumes and capacities. We will see different standards of respiratory volumes, their definitions. Next chapter is digestive system. In that we are going to see anatomy and physiology of GI, that is gastrointestinal tract, anatomy and functions of accessory glands, physiology of digestion and absorption, how the food is absorbed. Next, our chapter is skeletal muscles. In that we are going to see histology, physiology of muscle contraction, how the muscles contract, disorder of skeletal muscles, which are the different disorder related to skeletal muscles. Next chapter is nervous system. In that we are going to see classification of nervous system, how the nervous system is classified, anatomy and physiology of cerebrum, cerebellum and midbrain, function of hypothalamus, medulla oblongata and basal ganglia, spinal cords, its structure and which are the different reflexes of spinal cord, names and function of cranial nerves, anatomy and physiology of sympathetic as well as parasympathetic nervous system. Our next chapter is of sense organs. Which are the sense organs related to anatomy and physiology? Which are the sense organs? Eye, ear, skin, tongue and nose, and different description related to each organ. Our next chapter is urinary system. In that we are going to see the anatomy and physiology of urinary system, the physiology of urine formation, how the urine is formed, renin-angiotensin system, which definitely affect the urinary system, and also the blood pressure, clearance test and maturation. In that we are going to see what is clearance test and definition of maturation. Next is endocrine system. In that mostly we are going to discuss the hormones and their function. Pituitary gland, adrenal gland, thyroid, parathyroid gland, pancreas and gonads. So these are some glands and we are going to discuss each and every gland and their function. Last chapter is reproductive system. In that we are going to see anatomy of male and female reproductive system, the organs and their function, physiology of menstruation, spermatogenesis and oogenesis, and last pregnancy and parturition. All these points we are going to see in detail. So in this subject you have very basic concepts of human anatomy and physiology. So in next lecture we are going to start with our first topic. So thank you and keep learning.